Gaddis, the Savvy Agent. I am so graciously grateful to see each and every one of you. Welcome, welcome from the shorelines of Fort Myers Beach. It is a glorious morning this morning. The sun is shining and it is a quiet morning, although I am at a different part on the beach and therefore it is much more quiet. And that was intentional. Of course, it was intentional. So I am here this morning. Oop, I'm going to pull myself together here. I have some items. Did you see that beachfront? Isn't that a glorious view out there on that beach? Yes, it is. And you know, the birds are chirping. We have somebody out here fishing. And if you look really, really close, you might see the dolphins this morning feeding. They'll be breaching and feeding. And that is always an exciting sight. This can be your life. This can be your beach life along the shorelines of Fort Myers Beach. You know, the real estate market, many individuals across the country are talking about the real estate market. You know, here in Florida, yes, home sales, home listings are up. And you know, people have lived in their properties for many years and the equity built up in the homes has been tremendous. So of course listings are up. You know, because I would want to sell my home after I've lived in it for 5 or 10 years and increase my equity and increased my value. Some of these homes have doubled. I would want to sell it now too. Why wouldn't you? Okay, but if you're going to sell it now, what are you going to go to? Right? Well, okay, consider this. If I have a home that I've lived in, see, 2024, that maybe I bought in 2019, and now the value of it has gone up by a minimum of 25%. Minimum of 25%. Of course, I would want to get out of that. However, you know, you have to weigh the odds of what mortgage interest rates are currently. Now, if you created enough cash flow out of that investment that you made in the property in this area, well, then perhaps you can buy a house for cash elsewhere, somewhere else in the country, or downsize here in Florida. You know, there's many different angles that you can take to maximize your wealth and your prosperity. You just have to be willing to change and willing to move in new directions and being open to those possibilities. That's the scary part, is being open to those possibilities, because we don't know and we don't have control over where it goes. We can make decisions and plan. However, we also know that the best laid plans, you know, they need to be flexible. Goal oriented, however flexible. If you are a believer of God, God says, I know the plans that I have made for you. I plan to prosper you, bring you wealth, give you a life. Well, you have to have confidence in that and faith in that, and I do. So if you've owned your property for 5 years, then chances are you do have equity built in that property. Now, if you've owned it more than 5 years, oh, you have a great deal of equity in your property. Here in Southwest Florida, you have a great deal of equity in your property. If you bought your property before 2019, if you've had it for 8 years, 10 years, yes, now would be a very good time to sell. And that is because the value that you have in that property has probably doubled. It's at least increased by 50%. And what you can do with that is tremendous. But you have to have a plan moving forward. You know, some people, they're afraid to do that because they're going, oh, well, where would I go? Where would I live? Well, anywhere you want. And that's what I mean by a plan. There are options and there are possibilities, and you need a real estate expert to, well, you need me. Not just any real estate expert. You need me to consult with you and share that information with you and find different possibilities and avenues that are right for you. Because there's many different ways and different areas that you can go to maximize on the profit that you would make from your house, as well as take care of that 1035 and capital gains, 1035 exchange and capital gains, and purchase something for cash so that it's all paid. That's one possibility. However, how you do that and where you do that all needs to be investigated. And those are the things that you have to be open to change. in the long run, it benefits you. People talk about this real estate industry and real estate market being a bubble, and that homes are overvalued and overpriced. Are they? Or is it just right now people aren't buying because individuals as well as investors aren't buying because of the interest rate? What's really funny to me is that the mortgage interest rate, they made a big deal about this in the news. The mortgage interest rate was at 6.49%, and guess what? It came down 0.02 percentages to 6.47%. Okay, granted, that is a savings, However, that is it significant? Oh my gosh, that savings probably can make up the difference for the increased grocery prices. I mean, let's face it, right? Let's get a real clue here. So, coming up with a plan, we don't know how mortgage interest rates are going to change. It is an election year. Are they going to change before the election? Probably not. If it does come down, it'll come down a little bit. Will it come down soon? No, probably right before the election, maybe in October to get more votes. That's generally how these things work. They're based on policy and what's going to attract more people to one side. That's my personal insight. Believe me, I'm not professing any kind of expertise, but that's how I have seen that in the past and how I see that moving forward. Now, after somebody new takes office in January, are the interest rates going to come down? We don't know. Is that the primary agenda, primary running point for a presidency? Well, I think we have many issues and many concerns that need to be fixed in this country. Mortgage interest rates are just one of them. And let me tell you something, mortgage interest rates, they are similar throughout the world, not just in this country, not just in this US, not just in this area. And I say that with integrity because the financial debt and the value of the dollar in this country, well, those kinds of things and economies are going on all over the world, in other countries as well. So it's not just something that we face. However, it is something that we live and something that we feel and something that we want change. So looking at mortgage interest rates, they may come down in January, maybe a bit. Are we going to see 4% and 3% mortgage interest rates? Not anytime soon. I don't believe that that's going to come anytime soon. I truly believe that mortgage interest rates may go to 5.5%, but I don't know when. That might not be until next spring or next summer, if that. Might even take longer than that. So, again, you need to make decisions in your life, in your finances, in your household, and what you're doing with your home, and based on today and your own personal life, and not base it on the future. Your future, however, not mortgage interest rate futures. I mean, we can speculate all we want. Again, watching some of these different experts coming forward, and not in the streamlined media, but also on social media and on these YouTube channels. And I value their opinion, I value their expertise, and I value what they say. And it's quite interesting because now what I see changing is some of these experts were saying, oh, well, in 2025, the real estate bubble is going to burst. Oh, in 2024, the real estate bubble is going to burst. Well, we are in August of 2024, and not much has changed in the last 3 months. And now I see one of these experts coming forth saying, oh, 2028, the real estate bubble is going to burst. Yeah, you know what? It's going to burst at some point in time, and we don't know when. So again, you have to base your decisions and plan your life accordingly to you and your personal situation. So one of the things that we have to look at is we have to look at our own economics, our own checkbook, our own banking, our own investments, our own equity, our own homes, and where that is at this point in our own life, as well as our age, as well as our retirement and what we have in our retirement portfolio, and then also our job longevity or career longevity. Um, where does that stand? Are you in an industry that's going to change? Is that going to change drastically, where there's going to be job loss? Right now, what we see in the restaurants and the fast food is because of the inflation and the prices going up of groceries, those prices of those fast foods are going up. Well, we all know, if you've been around for a while, you know that there are certain market indicators. The car manufacturing and car sales is an indicator. Some people call the fast food restaurants the Big Mac index is an indicator. And these are indicators of how the market is going, market trends are going. And people are spending less and their credit is high. They're having problems paying their bills. Uh, you know, um, so planning for that, what are you going to do? I think life has changed. It's how we have to approach it. One of the things that I'm thinking of is, okay. Um, I just heard something on the radio on one of the news channels. It might have been NPR. That in 2030, that these individuals that are in computer science and coding and have all these coding jobs and technology and are making bank, and they're making decent salaries. That AI is going to change that industry so much that these coding individuals, by 2030, many of the jobs are going to be dissipated and they're going to change. And if you don't change in the way that this industry is changing, then perhaps you will be one that is left finding a new avenue, a new revenue source, a new career. And being around for a long time, people change their careers in their lifetime. It's not like it used to be, where you work at one place for 30 years and retire from there with a pension and healthcare benefits. And that's how it used to be in my mom and dad's time. That's not how it is now. I mean, if you have that, kudos to you. I mean, congratulations. You know, you are blessed. But the majority of individuals do not have that. Majority of working individuals do not have that. And if they do have that, what I have seen too in some of the sectors of our economy is individuals that have retired after 30 or 40 years in one job, in one factory. It's a factory, one company. As those profits change, they change the pension plans, and the ones that were being paid out, and the health care that was being paid out to these employees that have retired. And once you're retired, that's it. What are you going to fight? You can't fight for more money. You can't fight for more health care when it's dissipating in the company, because their revenue and profits are dissipating, and the affordability to offer these to retired employees has changed. So knowing that and having seen that and experienced that, I understand that these economies, they do change, and you have to set yourself up in your own life up for these changes. So saying that about 2030, about coding and coding individuals, well, perhaps this initiative of lifelong learning and trying to find other avenues and skills and talents that you have and how you can apply that into other areas is something that needs to be explored. It's important to explore those things. If you have hobbies, how can you monetize those hobbies? How can you create passive income streams? How can you create other income streams? Again, my age, and again, I'm approaching 60, so I don't think I'm ever going to retire, because I enjoy working. I love people. I love to work, and I am like a sponge still. I'm still like a sponge. I mean, I embrace AI and the technology and other avenues of producing income and income streams. So I don't know if we are ever meant to retire, really. I mean, there isn't an age limit on contributing positively to others. Again, that's something that's lifelong. So going back to where I'm at currently, I'm looking at, okay, well, now other indicators, and these are indicators. I mean, these are on the government websites, showing forecasting for Social Security, and where that's going to be in 2033, 2035. and the thresholds of that. And the indicators show in these graphs and these charts, and I've shown some of them on my social media. I think I've had some of them on my YouTube channel as well in different posts, that the income or money being put into the Social Security system is going to be less than what is being paid out. Well, now if you think that policy is going to be the same and we are going to continue in the same manner, in the same avenue of receiving our Social Security benefits that we have in the last 20, 30 years, yeah, economies of scale and logic, pure logic is going to tell you that something's going to change. It has to change. So, but that uncertainty is what we can't operate out of fear in that uncertainty. We have to, and we can't react when that uncertainty or when those policy changes happen. We have to be responsive and proactive right now. So again, coming up with a plan, and this goes back to your real estate. How long have you owned your home? How long have you owned your real estate investments? Where are they currently? What is the value? What is the cash flow? And taking a look at what you have and where you want to be is extremely important. Now, if you're a single family home owner and you have built that equity, what can you do and what can you change now to maximize on that? Again, Diana Gaddis, the Savvy Agent. I'm here to help you and support you in your real estate desires, your real estate needs, your real estate goals, and to explore all of that with you and for you and alongside you to help devise different avenues, different pursuits, and different plans that accommodate you. Because I am a school counselor, because I have done career counseling, and I am a leader, and I'm a very educated individual, I can also help with career assessments and assessing your skills and talents and exploring options and different avenues of what you may want to pursue, as well as personality assessments and skill assessments. And with that information, well, what do I do with that information? Well, we take a look at, okay, if pie in the sky, and we go through a different process of discerning what works and what you might want to pursue. Diana Gaddis, the Savvy Agent. I'm here to support you and what you'd like to pursue along the shorelines of Fort Myers Beach. There's many opportunities in this area for wealth creation, and prosperity. You have a blessed and gracious day, and I look forward to seeing you again. Remember, hit the like and subscribe button, share this video with your friends, and be blessed.